Well, so let's get into that. One of our stories here today is that finally Fallout 4 DLC was revealed. If you're anything like the way Max and I were with Battlefront, you bought a season pass without even thinking about it, just on the blind faith that the thing you enjoy is cool. Now, this one's really interesting to me because this is one of the first times I've ever seen this happen. The DLC is $29.99, or it has been $29.99 for the longest time. But after March 1st, the DLC becomes $49.99. So if you want to save money, buy it now. If you want to waste money, buy it then. So for the longest time, people were like, well, I'll give these guys money because Bethesda always makes great DLC. Today we got the first details on it, and I don't know, where do you sit on Fallout 4, Alana? I know like Max and I were like kind of lukewarm on it.
I would say I'm the same. I definitely liked it.
Yeah.
But not as much as 3.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
You still play though, right? Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Brian and I pretty much noped out. Like we played a little bit,
I'm definitely the
and
kind
then
of person who will pick up DLC.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
So
really
actually,
like
I said from the jump, like, I'm not super interested in what's happening in this game right now, and it feels sort of tedious. But I love when DLC comes out and they get to start making weird diagonals and strange roads everywhere.
The Fallout 3 DLC was all amazing. The
Yeah.
whole of it was just so good. Point Lookout is like one of the best DLCs that I've ever played.
So the next 3 months of Fallout DLC, we've got March, April, and May. And they promise they're actually doing even more after that. So if you get the season pass for $30 right now, you are really getting a good deal. So in March, we have the Automatron DLC, which is you hunt new robots all over the wasteland, harvest their parts, and build new robots using those parts. It's hundreds of new parts and paint jobs for them, plus the brand new Lightning Chain Gun, which sounds really awesome. I like this idea of this sort of like Mega Man boss thing coming to Fallout. Like, just them being like, hey, there's robots everywhere. Go kill them, fight them, steal their pieces, and go back and build your own mech.
It's funny you say Mega Man because that sounds like ReCore.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, totally.
Exploring a wasteland and being like, I wonder if they just saw that trailer and they were like, we could do that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that sounds sort of familiar. Wasteland Workshop, design and build cages to leave them around the world to capture horrible monsters and then unleash them on your enemies. You can even get them stuffed and put cool Deathclaw taxidermy in your settlement if you're sick in the head.
I wrote that. That's
did
not.
you write that?
No, none of this is their press release.
Stuff
And I will
put it past them.
I will point out that
Well, it's like Pokemon.
yeah, totally.
Gotta catch all these animals.
Which, like, I didn't really get into the settlement stuff. It was a little overwhelming for me. I think I was so raised on like Lego and Playmobil that had it been a little more gridded out, I think it would have made perfect sense to me. If it was just like, here's a grid, kind of like The Sims or whatever, you can put this here and there. Once things started getting into like wacky diagonals, like the weird kind of like obsessive part of my brain didn't let things just fit into the right boxes.
I get that.
So I got really overwhelmed by it. There's just so much there. But the people who did get into it,
Got super into it.
dude, they did like the coolest stuff.
Yeah.
So to be able to be like, you can go out there and hunt ghouls and kill them and come back, get them stuffed and mount them on your wall like a sick dude.
Yeah,
I'm really into that.
Or just build arenas and make them fight, which I mean, people have been doing with mods already. So
Yeah. So Automatron is $9.99. Wasteland Workshop is $4.99. So now keep in mind, we're already up to $15 worth of DLC. Now the big one, Far Harbor in May, is $24.99, $5 cheaper than the entire season pass. And this is, you can take a boat to a radiated island, Far Harbor, and search for a missing woman.
Far Harbor,
yeah. Largest new area in any Fallout DLC yet. There's new faction quests, areas, enemies, dungeons, and higher powered weapons and armor. So this is meaty. This is like the big, this is the big new story stuff that people want.
This is the Point Lookout.
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
This actually reminds me a lot of how Skyrim's DLC was.
Yeah.
Like, we were kind of expecting that to be more similar to Fallout 3's DLC, and that it was like, here are individual kind of standalone packages that expand on different parts of the game that you might have enjoyed. Instead, they were like, all right, you can adopt orphans. You could be
they were really strange, weren't they?
What was it? It was like, there was like Hearthstone, or no, not Hearthstone, Hearthfire.
Travel with dragons.
That was real disappointing. That was like,
super mods did it better.
And there was a vampire one where you went to some like other domain. Yeah,
Yep.
it was really weird.
Oh no, that one was cool though. The one where you went to the other place was actually really cool. It was
The vampire
creepy.
one?
I don't know if it was vampire.
You could turn into a
related.
werewolf.
Anyway, so
Yeah?
A vampire? You could turn a vampire.
please stop.
It's really it was
unicorn?
Frankenstein. You could be a
Probably a
Frankenstein.
unicorn.
You were in like another dimension.
Okay, you're just describing True Blood seasons
You
now.
had to go to the tower. There's a bunch of wizards in
Why
there.
are we
You're probably right. That's
Really
that
scary,
sounds
really
right.
scary skeletons.
I believe it.
Don't encourage him.
Back to Bethesda press conference.
Anyway, so
I was so surprised that
Yeah.
they're doing that because it was like, what the hell are they going to? They're not going to show a new Elder Scrolls.
well,
It's too soon.
no, but I mean, there's probably Doom stuff. I would wager there's going to be a new Wolfenstein.
Oh, I would love a new Wolfenstein. But
Like
just
they're
thinking
sitting on
about
a
it-
lot of properties. So
Yeah, but like last year's press conference was half an hour of Dishonored, Doom,
Yep.
I don't know, some other stuff, and then half an hour of Fallout.
Yeah,
and like
and then-
that was the reason that they had the show.
Right.
So
That
it's
was
like,
the big
why are
hook.
they doing it again?
Well, it's interesting you say that because this is like their big. They've gotten their big baby out of the door already, and the way they set it up last year in terms of being their first press
It
conference.
was a great press conference.
Oh my god, it was great, and the pacing of it being like, hey, look in your pocket right now. You have a new Fallout game right
Yeah.
now, and it's
That was
free.
so smart.
Yeah.
Hey, while you're holding your iPhone, we figured out another place it can go. A Pip-Boy you can wear on your arm.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's Fallout 4. What's
Yeah.
up?
That was so good.
Like that was
so
great,
impressive.
and like all of those things didn't really end up meaning much to me eventually, but still, like the pacing in which they let those what was the word? Announcements. I couldn't say the word announcements. I'm
It's also
tired.
just like they spoke about a lot of video games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was like, sweet.
It was all,
Yeah.
Talk about more games.
that was all the stuff we wanted to hear. You know?
Yeah.
That was all really exciting, fun stuff.
yeah, like
I feel
Pele wasn't there.
Yeah.
if I had to predict like what Bethesda's going to do for their press conference this year, I think that they're going to open up by talking about Fallout and
Yeah.
probably announce the next DLC. Because if you look, this is March, April, May.
Yeah,
that
they've
brings
got
us
more.
to if they were like, hey, the new Fallout
Right,
DLC
so
is
maybe
available.
the next one will be huge.
Yeah, it's available now on Xbox One.
I feel
Yeah.
like they'll also talk about mods a fair bit. I'm expecting them to integrate that into their press conference because we
Yeah.
haven't had a lot of official Bethesda comment on mods.
No,
Mods
not at
are
all.
They're going to be certain ones
Compatible
available
with
to
Xbox One,
which
so
is
that's going to be a
bonkers,
huge
yeah.
deal, and maybe they'll announce that. But it's still like if they have
Yeah.
an hour of a press conference, like I don't think we've seen actual gameplay of Dishonored 2 yet. We've seen cinematic stuff. We haven't seen
Definitely going to be a chunk of that.
Yeah, there'll be a bunch of that.
It is interesting you say the mods thing because I think there are a lot of people that jumped on Fallout 4 for Xbox One specifically because they knew that was in the pipeline. And it's been a few months now. We haven't heard anything about it. And those people were actually kind of punished with performance issues because
Yeah.
the Xbox One version was probably the sort of least fluid of the three. PS4 had
Yeah.
some problems. PC was a little cleaner than all of them. But yeah, that's been an investment that hasn't really paid off yet. So we'll see. So just to reiterate, $9.99 in March for Automatron, $4.99 in April for Wasteland Workshop, $24.99 in May for Far Harbor. You can buy those all piecemeal, or you can get them all for $29.99 before March 1st. They said, in addition, if you didn't buy the season pass yet, there is still time. Anyone who buys the season pass for $29.99 before March 1st will get all $60 worth of content. Also, of course, plus the additional stuff they're still doing. This is our way of saying thanks to all our loyal fans who have believed in us and supported us over the years.
See,
It's very nice.
that's how like pre-order stuff should be. Like
Yeah.
I think pre-orders
It's
are
amazing.
kind of fundamentally sort of a bad idea, but if it's cheaper to buy something early as kind of a vote of confidence,
Yep.
yeah, that makes perfect sense. So
Yeah.
I don't know. If you wanna play these robot games about the distant harbor,
Yeah,
get on it.
Max,
The
you and
Far Harbor ones
I
you're
have
not
spent
aware of.
we spent a lot of time in 2015 and some of 2016 sort of defending our purchase of the Battlefront DLC at $49.99, which we finally got details on and starting to trickle out soon. I wonder if it had been, $29.99 from the jump, if this would still be the same issue.
That's
I mean,
a good
it
question.
does still say EA in the box,
Yeah.
which is a big problem.
Yep. People do get mad at EA.